Last season, we won our 8th straight league title in Poland in the Youth Academy Challenge Save. We are now easily the best team in the country, with just 2 players in the Media Dream 11 not being ours. And I still haven't convinced the board to upgrade their training facilities yet. I've got an entire year before I start being very petty about it. But this is also the last year we are playing in the Motor Lublin before we move into our new stadium. With the stadium being only about 8,000 seats more, it's not a massive upgrade, but I am hoping that when we move into it, we can find that it can be expanded to at least 30,000+, so that would be very promising to say the least. The board wants us to get to the Champions League phase again, to win the league and the Winter Cup and be competitive in the Super Puchar Polski. Speaking of which, we've got Lega Warsaw in that competition, and these are all the competitions we'll be taking on this year. I want to win 3 of these trophies again, and get to the round of 16 again at the bare minimum in the Champions League. That's just my personal desire at this point. Even if we don't have the squad to really challenge the Champions League, I want to at least have another good year. I don't like the idea of getting to the round of 16 and then not even getting out the league phase the following season. We've got a higher coefficient position now. We should get some good draws. That being said, we're now in 11th place in the coefficients, and as things stand, if nothing was to happen and we take all the points away straight away this season, we would actually be going up below Liechtenstein and Scotland, but above Netherlands, Belgium, and the Czech Republic. How is it that Liechtenstein have so many good points? I swear, if it's just the one team that's doing it, then that's annoying. But as things stand, we'll be going up to 10th place. So, food for thought. I really hope that the Liechtenstein thing is not going to come back to bite me, but they actually might go above us, and that's going to be frustrating now. I didn't think that Liechtenstein would be the one nation that would actually benefit from this, and they're not even loaded. The Swiss league's not even loaded, and they could do well in Europe. Unbelievable. But yeah, we need another good year to extend our time in the higher echelons of European football, and I really want to get more places in Europe. And if we can get a place in the league phase straight away, that's amazing. If we get further in the Europa League again, that's also amazing. I mean, if we can get a Europa League place in the group stage straight off the bat, that'd be great. And if we can get another team further along, we need to do really well. So the best we could do right now would be to get 7th place. That's when things will change. The 9th will change for the Champions League path, so it won't just be the 2nd round, it'll be the 3rd round, which is useful. But I'm also hoping it won't just come back to bite me, but that's just me. Either way, I've got things to look forward to. That being said, we're now 25th in the coefficients, and we're only 2 places behind the Champions League winners, Real Betis. Yeah, I still can't believe that Real Betis won the Champions League last year, but there you go. Anything's possible, apparently. In fact, if I was to go by this, oh my word, we had one of the best seasons. We had the joint 12th best season with Real Madrid. What? Yeah, this really sums it up, doesn't it? Just how good of a year we had. I mean, Nice and Wolfsburg had good years as well, but yeah, we had a better year than Man City as well, so that's a thing. Barcelona were beaten by us, Atletico Madrid, Milan, Inter, Roma, Paris Saint-Germain were beaten by us by comfortable margins. 9 points we beat them by. This really puts it into perspective when you realise just how good of a year we actually had in the end. Is there any... Oh my god, Poker Switzerland had a good year as well. They're up to 150th, but they actually had a 10.5 year. That's actually really good for them. Cracovia had a 9.5 year, so some teams in Poland did have good years, and this is important from my point of view now. But yeah, I'm looking at Poland. Lech Poznan didn't have the best of years, but they're still quite high. They need a good year this year to really improve again. Wisla Krakow are in Europe this year, so they can improve on their coefficients. They need to, because we need more things to happen. Cracovia aren't in Europe this year, so we can't rely on them. But Lech Poznan, the Europa Conference League, I need them to have a good year. Pogoń Szczecin in the Europa League. Lechia Gdańsk are not in Europe, so despite being up there as potentially the 4th best team. They're not up there doing anything useful. Wisla Krakow, 5th best team, are in the Champions League, so they've got Aberdeen, so that could be fun. But they'll probably get knocked out. Jagiellonia, I just realized, are really far down the list, yet they are in the Europa Conference League. So I need them to have a good year this year because I refuse to be denied. Yeah, seriously, this is a year to do good things, I think. To start things off, we've had an offer from Bournemouth for Maurice Jasinski. I've turned it down. Clermont Foot are trying to break the transfer record, their transfer record, and they've actually had a bid of £66 million rejected by us. Huesca have signed Adam Suk for 4.6 million, which is actually ridiculous when you think about it. We let a player go to Wisla Krakow for free. He wasn't good enough, and I think you can see why I let him go. But we did lose a player to Preston because he got offered a contract. I didn't give him a new contract, and he's now signed for them for 7.5 grand a week. Did I make the right call with him? Maybe, I don't know, but he wasn't going to get first team football with us, so it makes sense to let him go. Noreki has had an offer from Club Brugge. Watford are trying to unsettle my defence because they're trying to sign Sebastian, and they've made a £15 million offer. I'm not going to count their money because I don't think they'll ever get it, but there you go. And we've got a leading player in our division in the form of an 18-year-old, so he's looking quite good now, isn't he? But now, time to talk about the squad planner. Chelsea want our #1 goalkeeper, Novak. I'm not counting Everton and Sunderland because they're not exactly amazing in the save, but Novak wanted by Chelsea. Should I be shocked? We still got Philippe. He's actually 25 now. I keep forgetting how old he is. And he's only 3 years younger than Novak, but he's still a leading player for our division who could become a star player. When does 3 stars become a star player for us? What is going on? How are we this good now in this country, honestly? How did he become a leading player just by playing 2 games and not having a good time in either of them? I'm very curious about that. Zawinski was on loan last year. He is a good player for our division. I might just sell him actually because I don't think he's going to get much better. And even though it says significant improvement, I don't see the significant improvement being anything but a leading player, and our division could use a strength and depth, I think. For those who want to talk about him, Romario is here. I really need to give him a loan spell this year because I need him to get first team football to develop. I really do. Right back, we've got a number of players here. I've already showed you this guy, but he's still outstanding, and he's just our best player now in this position, and he's considered a leading player for the division, and he's only 18 and he's only a 3-star player, so imagine how good it could be in the future if Bayern Munich, Chelsea don't get him first. We got Hubert, who I like a lot. He's only 20 as well, a leading player as well for the division, so that's good. He's inconsistent, which is the only issue with him, but I can work with this even if Leeds and Monaco want him. And Roma. Matthias Kowalski. When do I sell this guy? Because I am thinking about selling him. Even though he's only 25. And he's consistent and he likes big matches. But I'm still considering selling him. Even though he's my 3rd choice right back at this point. Yeah, 3rd choice right back. I'm considering selling him. What is wrong with me? Left back and right back. David Franzuk. He is inconsistent and doesn't like big matches, but he is still a good player. This is the one weakness in the team, I think, and that says a lot. Lipka is also someone who despises big matches. Actually, even worse than Franzuk, but he is inconsistent as well. He is also a good player for the division, so this really highlights how bad our left back options are, but there you go. I think this really highlights just how much I'm relying on Public to be good in the left back position, because if my 2 best options at left back are only good, I need a leading player there. That is the one weakness I have now. And I can't believe I'm relying on an unambitious, inconsistent 16-year-old to be the person that fills that void. That really speaks about how problematic this challenge is sometimes, doesn't it? Centre-backs, we've had so many offers for Kokochut. Look at how much he's worth now. 73 to 91 million. All because I've turned down that 66 to 71 million pound bid from Clermont Foot. This guy is insane. Napoli and Chelsea want him. He's also got 4 years left in his current deal. And he's not going anywhere. He is not going anywhere at all. I can keep him. and he's a star. He's no doubt the best player in the country right now, and he's got 26 caps for Poland, which I think tells you just how good he is. Sebastian's got 12 caps for Poland, but he's also a leading player, a star player for this division now, which again tells you how good our defense is in centre-back, that this guy is a star. And he's got a lot of admirers, including Barcelona, which I'm going to ignore. The fact that he might have just been unsettled by Watford is very insulting, and I don't like it. Smoda is here still. There is one player you've noticed it has gone missing, and I will talk about him in a bit. But Smoda, a leading player for this division, 26, might be getting near the end of his career. He's only got 2 years left, and do I renew his contract at the end of his contract? I don't know yet. But Michal Vasiluk is a centre-back, a decent centre-back. He could be a good centre-back for this division, but he's inconsistent. But I like him. He's got something to like about him, and I feel like he's got a lot to improve on. He's only 17 as well, so could be a star for the future. The same can be said about this guy who's actually out on loan last year in the second tier. Could be sent out on loan again this year. This time to YAC Block, who do want him, and I just noticed that they want him on loan. If he starts for them and he's a leading player, he's a good player for our division, so I think he's got the talent to do good things, and that's a 2-star player. 2-star players in this division is good for our division now, and that says a lot. DM position, we've got monsters here, haven't we? But Naraki is the one for me, and we have got a star here now, because apparently he's a star at 20 in our division, in our country, which is kind of mental. He's consistent as well, so the only thing missing now is whether or not he's actually someone who enjoys big matches. If he loves big matches, then he's just perfect, isn't he? Add-ons also good as well, a leading player for this division, and he's also only 20, so we've got a lot of good talent here, and I'm very excited for it. So I'm not going to really talk much about this guy, but he is someone I can rely on. He's not as good as his compatriots, only a decent player for the division, but I could use him. Unless they send him on loan, because that actually could be a thing. But I like him. He's got some potential ability. I used him, I think, last year a bit. I still use him. He's still got 2 assists, so it's not like he wasn't used for anything. It was just nice to have someone who could just come in and be good. So now let's talk about midfield. And Smarlek is someone I can rely on. Now, it says he's a deep line playmaker first and foremost. Ignore that. He's a star player for me now. He's also 26, so he's getting on the older side of this sort of thing. He's a Mazzala, who I will use as a box-to-box. He's also banned from the Champions League for a game, which is a shame, but what can you do? He's also one of Southampton. He's also only got 2 years left in his current deal, so I need to sort that out. Mario Szczynski, DM. He can be. He's a leading player for this division. He is consistent, but he doesn't like big matches, which is the only issue with him. He's also 24, one of my Bournemouth and Blackburn, which I could actually sell him. Which might come as a bit of a shock because I've hyped this guy up a lot over the years, but I might just sell him because I feel like I can at this point. But despite that, he is a leader, 16 leadership. Yes, he's only got 13 determination, but 16 leadership could be useful. Now, Binecki, midfielder, attacking midfielder, striker. He's a good player who could improve a little bit. I don't think he's the solution after all for my striker problems because I got a few more players coming through, but Mazzala and box-to-box could be useful. And I could definitely use him as a striker as well, so I like him. He's got potential. Remember this guy? You probably won't, but I let him go out on loan to YAC Block last year. Dijon now want him, but this guy is a good player for the division. I might use him this year because he's 18. I've got no reason not to. They use him as a winger, which I wasn't upset about because it meant that he got first team football. I don't think he's a striker though, but midfielder definitely someone I could use in my situation here. But we do have Smollett, and I like this guy. He was useful last year. Now, admittedly, he's only a decent player now, which is a shame because I used him a lot last year. Mostly for the bench, but I used him a lot. And I thought he was useful. He came in with some good goals at times, but left-footed as well. Very useful to say the least. Now, wingers. We've got a few of them. Polowczowski is exciting. He is a leading player who's only 20, driven personality, consistent, liked by the fans. Whether or not he likes big matches, I don't know. But yes, he's a bit of a pace merchant, but we can use that. But we've got this guy who has again been useful. I only just noticed he doesn't like big matches, but we can work with that. He's a leading player for the division as well, though, so it's useful. What about JLAB Crack? Also, I could sell him actually, because I don't think he's going to get much better. I might actually sell him, even if apparently he can improve significantly, and he's got the first touch to really be useful. But inconsistent, doesn't have big matches, sellable. Now this guy, 22 years of age, good player, likes big matches, inconsistent, but can definitely become a star player for this division. I think he could be useful as both a winger and a striker. He's got the David's vibe about him, and I don't know why, but this guy once upon a time was very exciting to me. He's not really lived up to the potential I hoped he would, but he's had loan spells in the last couple of years, which has given him first experience, so I'm hoping that I will give him some first in football this year, even if he's in the second team right now. I think he could be useful for me. Now, this guy could play on both wings, and he's definitely inverted winger on the right-hand side, but on the left side, could be useful as a winger, could be an inside forward. And he's a good player right now, could become a leading player in the future, star player in the future, because he's only 18, he's already this good. So we've got room to go with him. Oh, remember this guy, Rubovsky? Yep, he's still here. Decent player, admittedly. He's very inconsistent, but he can improve a lot. So I'm still giving him first in football. He's only 19 as well, so it's not like he's terrible. But do I send him out on loan? I'm considering it. I really am, because he's got a lot of teams wanting him on loan. So do I just give him a loan spell when he goes out on loan? I don't know. I've given him a load of first team football last year, even if it mostly was from the bench, but he was still getting first team football. Remember Zawinski? I keep on keeping him back. He is a good player who could become a leading player. He loves big matches. He's consistent. And I just like him. He's got a lot of traits as well, so he cuts himself from both wings, so he's very useful in that regard, but I don't know. He's someone I really like a lot. He's also listed for loan. He's on the last year of his contract, so he might just get sold, honestly. But I got a lot of reasons to like him, I really do. That being said, we've now got some left wingers to talk about as well, because all the players that I've showed so far can also play in the right wing. But there is Kimmich, and what can I say about Kimmich? He's only a leading player for the division, which is a bit weird. I thought he would be better than that, but close to his full potential now. International player, 33 caps, 11 goals. He likes big matches, and yeah, he's not consistent, so that's the only issue with him, but he's got that kind of vibe. I could sell him, and I can probably replace him with some of the players coming through. Like Bozim, for example. Now, I know what you're thinking. He's not as good. He's also a lean player. Yes, he's inconsistent, but this guy could be the kind of person I just throw in the first team this year and just see if he swims or sinks. And I think he can swim. I really do. 4 caps for Poland as well, which he got on his loan spell last year. So he's definitely had the first experience in the top division in the last couple of years. So do I give him another loan spell, or do I just use it in my first team? I need to figure that one out for myself, I think. Now, this is one player I'm thinking of just selling outright. Last year his contract, I don't like him, I don't think. Because he's unambitious, he's a good player, mind you. Can become a leading player in the future, but he just never really suits it anymore. And that's a shame, because weirdly enough, he's only played twice for me. I didn't realize he only played twice for me. So he's never really found himself in the first team. And I might just put him on the transfer list after all this is done. Strikers now. David has been outstanding in the last couple of years. He got 38 goals in 49 last year. He got 46 in 54 last year. So, yeah. I don't think I can really say anything else about how good this guy is. He's just been a menace, and he's a star player who won't get much better now. And he's inconsistent. He's getting those numbers despite the fact he's inconsistent, which is mental. He likes big matches. He's determined, but he's not perfect. And I know I can definitely do better with him in the future, and I can definitely do better than him in the future as well, which really shows you just how good he's been in the last couple of years in all competitions when he's able to get 46 goals, and he still isn't perfect. If I had the perfect player, I could probably get him getting 60 goals. I really could. I would show you everyone else in the striker role, but I've already showed you those players because they can play other positions as well, so there's that. I told you I'd talk about the players that I've let go, and Knight is one of them. Yep, I've let this guy go. Now, he is wanted by Wisla Block, Poker Sweatsin and Can, so I think he can get some first team football elsewhere. So I think he can get some first team football out there, but he just wasn't good enough for us anymore, and he was just taken out of the spot. I like him as well, which is the worst part, but I felt like I had no choice but to let him go. He was also upset because he just felt like he'd already done everything he wanted. So I thought, you know what, you can go and see where the wind takes you. Damien Herman, we let go as well. Just wasn't getting to the level I hoped he would, and he just wasn't good enough for us anymore. I don't know where he'll go next, but I think he's a decent player anyway, just not good for us. And if a team wants to take him on, then he's got a home. I think he's got the talent to become a top tier or second tier player. Whether or not he finds those places, I don't know. This guy you'd never know about, but I'm going to talk about this guy anyway. But Arthur Ramirez, never good enough, and I just let go. This guy was on loan last year, was complaining non-stop about the fact he wasn't playing the right position, and then I decided, you know what, you can leave. You're not good enough, you ain't got the potential, goodbye. Darius Dragon has a special place in my heart for being the first non-Polish player from an affiliate to come to us in our youth intakes. We had a Lithuanian player before that came through the youth intake, but this guy came through our youth intake thanks to our affiliate spell or affiliate link with Voluntary, and this guy was useful. So he's going to get home, I think, because a lot of teams like him apparently, but he just wasn't going to be good enough for us, unfortunately, and I just cut my losses really early with him, and that's a shame. I'm going to end this here. I hope you guys have enjoyed yourselves. I hope you guys will like and share this video, and that you subscribe to the channel. Really does help me out a lot. What do you think we could do in the future? Do you think I can get that training facilities upgraded at long last? But anyway, until next time, goodbye, and well, good night.